Brady Hauser Productions here, and when you come to Shuttleworth Park, there's an infamous voice that you always hear on the PA system. It's this gentleman, Brian Cady. Brian, another season with the Mohawks. This has got to be a pretty cool opportunity for you just to be announcing this.
Yeah, man. I mean, I look back and it's just, it was all by pure happenstance because the gentleman who had been doing the announcing here for the Mohawks for a while, he actually fell ill during an off season, and they were kind of doing a balancing act where they weren't sure if he'd be ready for, it was the 2019 season. And then the Mohawks just happened to post him on Facebook, hey, if you're interested in announcing. And then, just to say the rest is history. So, my 5th year here, because we skipped, they had me skip 2020 because of COVID, but yeah, it's a rush, it's a good time, and I wouldn't miss it for the world. I love it.
Mm-hmm. And obviously, college baseball, we get players coming in from some of the biggest schools in the country, and we've produced almost close to 100 players to the MLB. Actually, this past week we drafted eight or nine players to the MLB for this year's draft. So, how cool is that? Knowing that you're announcing these guys and they're possibly future MLB stars.
Yeah, I mean, I look back at just guys like Matt Shaw, who right now he's going through the minor league system with the Cubs and doing an amazing job there. Gage Miller, one of my personal favorite guys. He just got drafted in the 3rd round this month of the draft. And yeah, I mean, just to see guys like that, even local guys like Dale Stanovich, just to see what he's done, and he's in the Miami Marlins organization. He's on the cusp of maybe a September call-up this year. So, it's great to see these guys as they continue to develop and take their skills from, they're right here right now, but if you want to get to that upper echelon and make a career out of it, you just need another step or two forward. And I think, the kids that come in, they listen. Very little ego involved, no matter if they're D1, D3, JUCO, whatever it may be. And it's always been a joy to deal with the players here and get to watch them hone their craft out on the diamond.
And what do you think makes this program so successful? I mean, this year we're having another stellar year. I think we're 29 and 5, I think. I don't know the actual ranking that we're in.
You're in the ballpark.
Probably should have did my homework, but
you're good.
It's okay.
That's right around the ballpark.
What do you think has made this program so successful throughout the years?
Well, I mean, it's a combination of factors. I'd be remiss if I didn't make it a 1A and 1B between Coach Keith Griffin and owner and GM Brian Spagnola. They make a terrific tag team as far as knowing what they want for the team, setting the goals. Obviously, the goal every year is to try and win the league championship. But as far as the kind of guys they want to bring in, they're always looking for the guys that are not just really good in the diamond, but also aren't going to come in, make a fuss in the clubhouse. So I feel like they both do an excellent job of, picking and choosing the right talent. Brian's established a lot of great relationships with various schools across the country. Mississippi State just being one of them as an example. We always seem to have at least a couple Bulldogs here in upstate New York. And they just they do a fantastic job, Griff, with the coaching of the players and Brian with the selective scouting that he uses. And on top of that, I just feel like the community being so supportive, because this really is a team of the city. With how many people come out, you're regularly seeing 1,000, 1,500, 2,000 people come out, and not just from Amsterdam, people from Fonda, Fultonville, from Canajoharie, from Scotia Glenville, people far and wide, and even families that come in to catch their son play ball once in a while. It's a really cool atmosphere, and I feel like that's another factor that really makes what happens here, for 2.5 months every summer feel really special for the people who work here as well as the players as well.
So for the folks that don't know who Brian Cady is, what's your background? How'd you get into the whole announcing thing, and when did you start?
It's actually another story of happenstance, really, because the first sport I ever got into announcing as a PA announcer was basketball. Mm-hmm. And the way that worked out was it was my first year of working in radio, because I did have a radio career on and off the last 15 years. And my first year was 2009, and a buddy of mine, who has now since just become the girls varsity coach at Hoosick Falls, Mike Long Jr. He originally had signed up to do Russell Sage College men's and women's basketball announcing that year, but at the time, this is 15 years ago, he had a hectic schedule and needed somebody that could cover games he couldn't make, which I agreed to. I happened to be covering the first weekend of games, and by the time that weekend ended, Mike actually reached out to me and said, "Hey, this just isn't going to work for me. Is there any way you can pick up the whole schedule?" I'm like, "Sure." And the rest is history. I did like 6 or 7 years there. I've done the last 3 years at Fulton Montgomery Community College for their basketball programs. I did Hudson Valley for a year or two. Oh, sorry, that's my wedding ring banging on the table.
Voice might kill you.
Yeah, nah, it's fine. Like I mentioned, been here since 2019. Done. Now I've become basically the voice of Section 2 girls basketball playoffs, the sectionals, and as well as all the regionals and the whole New York State Championship tournament that happens in Troy every year. So it's been a real joy, and yeah, it's been 15 years of doing this, and I don't think I'm going to be stopping anytime soon. I still get a lot of enjoyment from it, and and forming relationships with coaches and players that I do and administrators. It's a lot of fun, and
And that's how you and me met. Obviously, we met at I met you at FM.
Yeah, you were
year.
interning doing you were interning in the department doing pictures of the basketball games, and got to know your background with the stuff you do with motor racing and all that jazz, and got to know your photography first, and then you're announcing on the back end of it. So it's I really enjoyed getting to know you, and I've become obviously a big fan of your work. So the fact you're willing to sit down with me is pretty cool, and obviously stay under my wing, kid. You'll do fine. You'll be fine.
Well, Brian, I thank you for chatting with me. Obviously, we got a doubleheader here tonight, and you got some work to do, so appreciate you chatting.
Ready to roll. Let's go, Brady. Thank you.